Welcome back to Synchronicity, talk radio for your mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Marie Bernard. Thank you so much for joining us today, and happy holidays. I want to send out some holiday sparkle to you, whether you are celebrating Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, any other holidays that I'm missing out on. This is just such a festive, lovely time of year. The first day of winter is coming up in a couple of days as well. The winter solstice, is it called? Anyway, so we are speaking with Dr. Bernie Siegel. He is a pioneer in the mind-body medicine movement. He has been a physician for a really long time, and he's also been an author since the 80s, and he's just helped thousands and thousands of people, and I'm so blessed to have him here on the show. Welcome back, Dr. Bernie.
Thank you. Just thinking of two things. One miracle is that I even wrote a book, because I always share with people, the only C I received in 4 years of college was in a course called creative writing. I was very much an artist as a child and not into writing in words. And somebody walked up to me one day and said, "You ever think of writing a book?" And I thought, boy, that would save me a lot of trouble with all the lecturing and running around and doing. And it just evolved. I had nothing to do with it. He asked me, I said, yeah, I'd think about it. And it happened, you see. And I'd say that's the kind of thing, when you talk about miracles, just because somebody comes up and says, did you ever think of it, it happened. And then I had a mystic who was a patient of mine, and she started calling me saying, Bernie, you're going to write books. I said, no, I don't write books. Yes, you are. And she started telling me I'll write 3 books, 7 books, 12 books. And it's all happened, you know. And she's even brought me messages from my dead parents and patients and others saying things that had to be from them in terms of how they were expressed and what they were saying. So I've learned to live by my experience, you know, in terms of what life is like, rather than I can believe that or I can accept that. If I experience it, why should I deny it? You know, that even includes communicating with animals. I mean, you know, all these subjects are okay for you, but we had a cat disappear in Connecticut, and I had met an animal intuitive named Amelia Kincaid in California. I thought it was nuts that somebody could talk to animals. But when the cat disappeared, I emailed her and I said, okay, tell me where the cat is. And it's been missing for weeks. I was sure it was dead because we live in a wooded area. And Amelia sent me an email a few days later that said, the cat's alive, I can see the moon. And she described all our other pets, exactly what the house looked like, and where this cat was. And her expression of where it was puzzled me, that it's under the house. I thought, that's not going to be under a house. But there's a stairway where the sides of it come down on both sides, leading from the door down a little hill. And the cat was under that to protect herself. And so, again, I can't deny. Matter of fact, my email back to Amelia became part of a foreword of her book, because I cannot deny all the facts that she put into that email about the house and everything from garbage cans to, you know, other pets and names of people, and it was just unbelievable. And as she said, Bernie, you have to quiet your mind to get into the animal's mind. And you see, to me, that's a universal theme, the still pond. That's when the ugly duckling sees his reflection as a swan. It's when the tiger brought up by goats sees that he's really a tiger, when another tiger takes him to a still pond. And when you quiet your mind, then some amazing things happen, as well as your being able to know your true self.
Beautifully said, Dr. Bernie. And speaking of pets, and we were talking about cancer before, there are actually cats that can smell cancer in patients.
Oh, absolutely. And they know when they're going to live and die. We had a nursing home here where the staff knew that if the cat was in the bed with the patient, within 24 hours that person died. And it wasn't that the cat was upsetting people, you know, oh my God, it's in my room, I'm going to die. But this cat just knew, and it was giving love to the people before they died. And so they're sensing our chemistry too. You know, they can sniff and know. I always say, when I'm sick and in bed, the cats will be on my chest, because we have a house full of dogs and cats, purring and trying to make me feel better. And if I'm being lazy and just sleeping late, nobody bothers. And the one I love was, if I think of grooming them, which they don't like, brush your teeth, comb you, and cut your toenails, etc., they all disappear. Thing is thinking about it. Yeah.
Oh, all you're doing is thinking about grooming them, and they're gone.
Yeah, and I can't find them. But as soon as I say, well, I'll have to get doing that today, then everybody's right there. See, this also really happened. Our son is a neighbor, and he has 2 cats, and I take care of all the animals. And I needed to get them to the vet, so I made an appointment early in the morning, because when I put the food out, they show up. As soon as I made the appointment with the veterinarian, the cats stopped showing up for breakfast. For 1 solid week, they did not come out when I came and put the food out. I called the vet. I said, I'm sorry, I'm driving you nuts and wasting, your office time, so we'll just cancel it. I don't know what I'm going to do. As soon as I canceled the appointment, the next morning, the 2 of them were sitting there waiting for me. That is not a coincidence, That's consciousness and communication at another level, and kind of miraculous. But I would say, again, our consciousness is what affects us and the people around us. See, another study. If you had a compassionate doctor, you recovered faster from an illness than if you said, my doctor isn't compassionate. Or even, did your parents love you? Those who said no while in college, 98% had suffered a major illness by the time they were midlife. And those who said, yes, my parents loved me, only a quarter of them, 25%, had suffered a major illness. So you see how love and all these things affect us and our potential and what we're capable of doing. And let me just, one more little anecdote that people understand. And I'll shorten the story, but it was a landscaper who was retiring, which is a tough time for people. He developed a cancer of the stomach. He told me, when I said we need to get you right in the hospital, that it was springtime. I forgot something. Springtime. Got to go and make the world beautiful. So if I die, I'll leave a beautiful world. A few weeks later, he comes back, we operate. I can't cure him. You need more treatment. No, you forgot something. It's still springtime. I'm going to go home, make a beautiful world. So when I die, I'll leave a beautiful world. 4 years later, the nurse in my office handed me a chart. I said, he's dead, because he never came back. And she said, Bernie, open the door. So I opened the door, and John said, I have a hernia from lifting boulders in my landscape business. He's 94. I spoke at his 70th wedding anniversary to tell people what he was like and what he had taught me about life. See, he didn't go home to not die. He went home to make the world beautiful. And then he had something, and it's not work, see, because he's making the world beautiful. And he died after his wife died, when he felt, okay, I can let go now, and, my job is done.
That's so beautiful.
Cool. Here's how you do it. When you go out of the house tomorrow morning, say to yourself, I'm an extraterrestrial visiting here for the first day. And then look around you at the world as if you've never seen it before. And you will really see the miracles. Whether it's snow or ice or a flower, anything. I mean, you begin to realize the beauty and the incredible nature of creation. I always say, why is the sky blue? Who decided on that? I'm sure we have physical reasons why, blue is transmitted and other colors aren't, but how does it happen? Why does water, when frozen, become less dense and float? The ice cubes go to the top. Every other liquid, when frozen, becomes more dense and sinks, these solid pieces. So again, it's the intelligence of creation. Keep the ice on top to protect life. And gravity. Where did that come from? If we didn't have gravity and water went up instead of down, we'd all be in big trouble. But, you know, as I say, just look around you and be in awe of creation and what has been built into each of us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bernie. Well, I think it's time for another break, so I'm going to put you on hold here. This is Synchronicity, talk radio for your mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Marie Bernard. Thanks so much for joining us today. I just want to let you know, next week, December 26th is the day that Synchronicity falls, which is also, it's Boxing Day, as well as the first day of Kwanzaa. So I'm going to be playing a repeat episode, which is the Kwanzaa special. So if you haven't heard it yet, please do tune in. I'll be playing music from Kwanzaa and telling you all about what exactly Kwanzaa is. And then on the following week, the first Monday of 2012, we're going to be joined by Anna Taylor. She is a lovely singer-songwriter, angel therapy practitioner, definitely an earth angel. And she's going to be live in Vancouver. She's coming all the way from England, and she'll be in the studio. So definitely tune in for the first show of 2012. This is Synchronicity, talk radio for your mind, body, and soul. I'm your host, Marie Bernard. We are speaking today with Dr. Bernie Siegel. If you have a question for Dr. Bernie and you want to get on the air, the number is 604-822-2487. That's 604-822-2487. We'll be back with more Synchronicity in a moment.